My daughter goes to college in Dallas. I go down there every once in a while. I haven't seen him too many caves down there. I wonder which one he's hiding out in. And it just happened so tragically right after National Chicken Fried Steak Day in Dallas.
And Mark's Mavs aren't doing too hot. I think they're like 1-6.
Yeah, Dirk's getting a little long in the tooth. You know, it's kind of like the Clinton crime family. Dirk Nowitzki is getting a little old. All right. 1-844-500-4242. The Washington Post, I was on with Maria Bartiromo today at 6 a.m. on the Fox Business Channel.
Va-va-voom.
I love waking up with Maria. And I have a lot of fun on that show. And so we were laughing about the mainstream media, among other things. And I said, what's going to happen with the Washington Post and those 20 reporters they had assigned to? They dig up dirt on Donald Trump beat. And everybody agreed, they're not going anywhere. They're just going to keep going. Now they're digging up dirt on President-elect Donald Trump rather than Republican candidate. But, one thing about the Washington Post is throughout this campaign, they've had some really rotten people like Chris Cillizza, who had the Clinton people writing his columns for him. And then who was that other guy, that other jerk? Oh, Dana Milbank. Or was it Dana Milbank that had him write the column? Yeah, Dana Milbank had him write the column for
Dana
him.
Milbank is the one who said, I will eat my words. I will literally eat a newspaper if Donald Trump wins the nomination. And he made good on it.
And then he was doing, Passover is all about, the plagues and the plagues crossing over. And he sends the Clinton campaign. He says, I need 10 plagues of Donald Trump. They sent him 10 plagues. 8 of them appeared in his column the next day. Boy, that's some good legwork. How'd you come up with all those plagues, Dana? But anyway, I digress. They did do a couple of good pieces in the. They had some random acts of journalism, as Rush would say, during the course of the campaign. They tracked down a guy who was at the same mosque in the Orlando area as the Pulse shooter, the Islamic terrorist Omar Mateen, and they had him write a piece in which he admitted that Omar Mateen had told him he was a Hillary Clinton voter. He voted for Hillary Clinton in the primary, and then he decided to slaughter 50 gays. And by the way, his father, who sat behind Hillary at a big rally in Orlando, he donated money to the Democratic National Committee, not just a registered Democrat. So they had him.
Well, I think the lead of that op-ed, Howie, was not that Omar Mateen was a Clinton supporter, but that this individual contacted the FBI about his radicalization.
Right. I guess that's But
for most people, that was the lead.
To me, the point. To me, the lead was he was a Clinton supporter. Okay, I know the FBI. I was not surprised that caught. And again, you can't blame the FBI for all of this stuff. I mean, it's like the Tsarnaev brothers. I mean, there's so many fish swimming in the sea. I mean, some of them are going to get away. I mean, that's just the way it is. They got tips from the Russian Secret Service about the Tsarnaev brothers, and they blew it. I mean, sometimes you blow it. That's the way it goes. But anyway, moving along. Today they have a piece by a woman named Asra Q. Nomani. And the headline is, I'm a Muslim, a woman, and an immigrant. I voted for Trump.
Well, Carol, I felt like this entire election year, we have just silenced so many people. And like, as you said, I'm a happy liberal. I believe in progressive values. But I do believe that we have a liberal honor brigade nowadays that is basically shutting up and silencing people who disagree with them. We see them marching on the streets right now because they don't like the election results. And unfortunately, whenever anybody would speak up, we were ridiculed or chastised. Even now, the idea of speaking out as somebody who's voted for Trump is earning me all sorts of lovely labels as like idiot and, effer and all of these other ideas that I think violate liberal values of free speech and self-determination. And so I spoke out because I also believe we have to stand up for the dignity of all people, and Trump voters are human beings too.
What a concession for someone who wrote an op-ed piece for the Washington Post. Woman's name is Asra Q. Nomani, and let me just read you a couple of other things that she said. That was in a TV interview, obviously. This is my confession and explanation. I am a 51-year-old, a Muslim, an immigrant woman, and then she puts that of color, meaning I'm a white woman, but since I'm a Muslim, I can call myself of color. I think that's what it means anyway. But here's some of the things she said in her piece. You know, I am a single mother who can no longer afford health insurance under Obamacare. Finally, as a liberal Muslim who has experienced firsthand Islamic extremism in the world, I have been opposed to the decision by President Obama and the Democrat Party to tap dance around the Islam in Islamic State. The revelations of multi-million-dollar donations to the Clinton foundations from Qatar and Saudi Arabia killed my support for Clinton. I have absolutely no fears about being a Muslim in Trump America. The checks and balances in America and our rich history of social justice and civil rights will never allow the fear-mongering that has been attached to candidate Trump's rhetoric to come to fruition. What worried me the most were my concerns about the influence of theocratic Muslim dictatorships on Qatar and Saudi Arabia in a Hillary Clinton America. These dictatorships are no shining examples of progressive society with their failure to offer fundamental human rights and pathways to citizenships to immigrants from India, refugees from Syria, and the entire class of de facto slaves that live in these dictatorships. That's good stuff. That is really good stuff. And, you know, and it's so true. I mean, she got a total pass on getting all this money from these theocracies. I mean, not just the Muslim theocracies, but from various other kleptocracies. And then they blame Donald Trump because he's supposedly a puppet of Vladimir Putin, which, by the way, they have no idea whether it's true or not. They just made it up. We know for a fact because they have filed documents under the pains and penalties of perjury saying that they took all these, probably $100 million from these Gulf theocracies. Francis, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Francis.
Yeah, I'm calling from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm an immigrant, and I came into this country from Nigeria.
Yes.
And it pisses me off to see young Americans burning the flag of United States of America, where they have all the freedom in the world. You can't do that in Nigeria after an election. From what I read when I came here, in 1944, young Americans were storming the beaches of Normandy. In 2016, we have young Americans who are storming the major streets, burning American flags and waving Mexican flags. It's disgraceful, and it pisses me off. As a Nigerian who admires American value and America, I love this country so much that when I see our veterans, I cry. I was watching Fox News this morning, and I saw the man that sang, I'm proud to be an American. I was shedding tears with my little children. We were crying because we appreciated him and we love this country. But when we see Americans, people that call themselves Americans, and black Americans for that matter, and Hispanic and some, I don't know, burning American flag, destroying properties, it makes me shed tears, because if they go to Nigeria and see what people are passing through there, they will value this country for the rest of their life.
Francis, thanks so much for your call here on Veterans Day, and we appreciate it. I'm Howie Carr.
You get a Zipa. You get a Zipa.